Welcome back to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest running sales training podcast history. I am one of your hosts, Bill Caskey.
I'm the other host, Bryan Neal.
We are so glad you join us every week. We've been going at this for quite a few weeks now. I think we're going to keep going since we've tried it out for 16 years or 19 years. So I think we'll keep it up. So we're really glad you're here. You can find out more at advancedsellingpodcast.com. If you are a new listener, go there. There's top 20 episodes downloaded that you can start with. And we're just delighted that you've joined us today. And if you're a recurring listener, welcome back.
It's 988 weeks.
Wow.
19 years times 52 weeks. It's 988 weeks. Maybe we could probably figure out 12 weeks. It's like into the calendar year is going to be like 1,000 weeks. We've been doing this.
Oh, the 1,000 weeks episode.
1,000 week episode, right? It's kind of fun, isn't it? But we're so thankful. This is just fun. Long ride. It's been great. It's fun to go back to old episodes and listen, especially to your voice change. It's just kind of funny. Voice gets a little deeper. We had some fun ones though. Good stuff.
I've often said, and I've probably mentioned it here, that there's this whole idea of legacy. What kind of legacy you're going to leave when you die? You know, your children and financial legacy. Yeah, but what kind of legacy do you have? Anything that you can leave where you say, this is who Papa was. This is who great-grandpa Bill was. And I'm like, yeah, we got 2,000 episodes. What else do you need?
Yeah.
I mean,
and they're only 17 minutes each episode. You can listen to them real quick, son. It's really good.
And how many of your offspring will listen to it? 0.
We'll see. We're around. We're in all the organic searches. If anyone's looking for a podcast to listen to as a salesperson.
Well, it's like when you go on the internet and look for your grandfather, if you know their name and all that, you don't find much. I mean, just maybe a smidge here and there but now our grandkids will go back and they'll be like, oh God, it's too much.
It's my papa.
Too many podcasts. I think I'll just pass on this project.
He thought he was famous. Yeah. He had this thing. He had a podcast. It's like, oh God.
And he always talked about it.
Exactly. We used to play in a studio, then we realized we thought it was a radio show, and then we realized it was just a podcast. It was for salespeople too. It wasn't like popular or anything. Funny. Part of the aging process, part of the life transition. Speaking of, things are starting to happen to me as I age that I'm just, it just happens. Some of them are very gross. I don't know why this is. Is it men but it's hair growth in like your ears and your nose and your eyebrows. Why does that happen? How come you go all these years, there's no ear hair, there's no nose, there's a little nose hair. Now I literally feel like I could, like shave my inside of my nose every day. It's like you can see the hair. It's so gross. And I have a little hair that pops out of the top of my nose.
Oh my God.
It's so weird. And there's just one. It's literally one right there. And I pluck it out. And I have one eyebrow thing that goes, and I'm like, why is this happening? I don't know if there's any doctor that listens to say, why do we start to do this when we age?
Yeah.
Hair things that are just gross.
Yeah. What I've noticed is that they pop up so fast. I mean, you could trim and do all the hygiene. And then the next day it's like, well, how did I miss that one?
Literally.
And sometimes you'll go to get your hair done and they'll trim and clip eyebrows, and then the next day, and my wife will say, "Why did she not? I mean, you've got one that's 7 inches long there." I'm like, it popped up overnight. I think
it did. Right, it was just waiting there. It was hiding under the bed. Exactly. It just jumped up and taped itself on there. It knew.
It knew there were clippers
like that though. It's just weird. Yeah, my barber will do a nose waxing. They will wax the inside of your nose. Now I've not done that yet.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That seems extremely painful to me, but it's quick, so your eyes water a little bit, but then I think it's worse. I don't know. It's a really gross topic, but man,
I think the aging thing. Yeah, it does happen. I was just at a concert the other night with a friend who has had some shoulder issues, but no other. He's 70, 72, 73, good shape. He was walking upstairs and he heard a pop. He and his wife both heard a pop, and it's his meniscus.
Oh my gosh! Just walking up the stairs.
Just walking upstairs, and then I looked on AI and said, that's what happens. Your meniscus and your fascia get firm, and they're not supple like they used to be, and they get hardened, and then all of a sudden you do something that just in one little nanosecond, I can't walk.
That's it. It's wild. So
Well, keep your meniscus supple. How about that?
We lost Oh, we lost all the Gen Z and millennial people. Rant there. So like, oh my God.
Yeah,
listen to these two. But we got some good topics. All right, let's do topic. You got it for us?
Okay, my topic, yeah. Where do I start this? Over the years, I have noticed that there is a trend toward more and more what we'll call accidental salespeople being a part of the sales process. And by accidental, I mean they don't have salesperson on their card. They're not frontline, but they're in it. It could be project managers, could be engineers, sales engineers, executives even who aren't salespeople, but they have to be in front of clients. They have to raise money. Well, these are accidental salespeople. They don't do it every day. And you can call them technical advisors, whatever. And I think there's, again, happens to be a trend toward more of these people, and they become more important in the buyer-seller dance than they used to be. And it doesn't mean salesperson is less important, but on a scale of, it used to be that salesperson was up here, everybody else was down here. Now I think that those technical people are becoming more vital, especially in a world where BDRs, SDRs, these people are making calls to set up someone for the sales process. And we're setting up someone who doesn't have technical intelligence, and we're doing the whole sales process. And then we're bringing in the person who's technical. Yeah. And the question becomes, well, why aren't I starting with the technical person? I can teach them to sell a whole lot easier than I can teach a salesperson technical. So That's my backdrop.
Completely agree with the trend without question. And for the same reasons, even maybe more so, that we've burnt out the SDR, BDR email campaign burns people out. I believe that to be true. Mm-hmm. When we're thrilled to death with a 2% response rate, it's like coupon stuff back in the 80s and 90s. I think we really need to rethink what we're doing. And because of that, people get burnout on that whole, they want to talk to someone who's got like some knowledge and has the ability to be a critical thinker and consult with them through the process in all things. And technically minded people, and not every accidental seller is technically minded. The majority are, not all of them are. Yeah. They become massively important in the sales process, and they have the 80% of the technical side. They just need the 20 of the sales side. And what's great about that is that's the easiest to get and to teach, right? Yeah. It's way easier than teaching someone, how to code, in the deep dark web or something like that, something super technical. So I love the topic. I think it's great. And I think it's evolving. I think it's evolving rapidly. Like it's getting more and more and more important.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that for coaches and trainers and advisors like us, we have to be very careful that we don't just plop them into our traditional sales training or whatever you want to call it, because it is different. And it is. We are not, I always say to people, I just had a conversation with a guy last week. He's a large company in the Midwest, and they are a technical company, but they have salespeople. And he wants help for his technical people. I said, the last thing you want to do, whether you work with me or not, your call, last thing you want to do is turn those people into the people that they despise.
Exactly.
Because should they despise them? Of course not. I mean, sales professionals say, but the technical person doesn't want to be turned into that. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't, because in a way you take away the power that they have, which is not being a salesperson.
Yes. This is accretive. There's a big word from state school, kid. Accretive. Does that fit there?
What?
Accretive. It's accretive. It's like in addition to.
Accretive?
Word. Accretive. Accretive.
Oh, accretive.
Accretive. Fact check me on that, Bill.
I have no idea. I've never heard that
in addition to. It's usually used in finance.
Okay. I believe it.
Like an extra gain. See, now I'm self-using. I gotta look it up.
Along with cross-functionality.
I thought you would love it. I thought you would be like, nice word choice.
Oh, you picked it out just for me?
Well, I mean, you're good at these things.
So you're checking it out.
Creative. I am, yeah. But I do think it's a trend that's going to get more important than other. Let's see. Oh, it is more for finance. So it doesn't really work. It's a situation where like an act is expected to increase the earning. It's an increase. So Characterized by gradual growth or increase.
No, that's good.
That's the definition. Can I work there?
Yeah. I love
characterized by gradual growth or increase. Yeah. Okay. God, I feel validated now. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a $10 word though.
Creative. That's nice, isn't it? It's creative.
All right. So let's help people. If you're, because I know a lot of people who listen to this are frontline sales professionals, 30% are sales managers, sales leaders. So you all are in a position to help your people who are non-sales people to be better with sales conduct, how they present themselves, things like that. So we're relying on you here. You can send this episode to them. That would be nice. Yeah. But if they are not podcast listeners, you're going to have to help them. So let's give a few points of coaching on how to get an accidental, we'll call them. And we're not being, we're not being insulting when we say accidental. We're not all. This is just the way we describe it. So what would be a piece of advice you would have?
The first, I'm going to say what you already said, because I think it's so important. This is that you have to present this group of people a different program and a different set of tools and a different, everything. It's similar and it's different. It's got to be different. Do not wedge. The first piece of advice: do not wedge sales coaching, sales training into accidental salespeople. It does not work. We've done that. I've done that, Bill. It doesn't work. It does not work. You've got to customize the approach. So that's my first piece of advice. Customize the approach to their world.
Yeah. Okay. Second thing is, I would redefine what selling even means in today's world. Mm-hmm. So it used to be 20 years ago, if you were to define selling, you would say, well, it's the art of convincing people that they need your product or whatever. I don't think that's the correct definition today, mainly because I think buyers will resist that. Their buyer behavior has changed so much that if we go at it the same way we did 20 years ago, we get our head handed to us. And so I think that one thing you can do is help your non-sales people understand what is selling, what does it really mean? And what it means is that we are here to serve our customer by providing problem-solving products or solutions that help them get to their destination, helps them avoid some of the discomfort, and whatever, however you would define that, but define it in the contemporary mode, not in this persuade and convince mode, because that's what a lot of non-technical people or technical people think selling is, and we got to get them out of that.
Yes. Another bit of advice, I'm getting super tactical now. Is I would in that program, so any training or coaching program you're going to do for accidental salespeople, I would include skill and tools around pushing back or disagreeing with the customer. And this is because this to me is where the technical minded people have the most value, because they see things more objectively than sellers do. Mm-hmm. And then the problem with it is they're also usually a little more passive. They don't want to hurt everyone's feelings. They maybe not speak up. They're less assertive. And so they don't know how to push back or disagree or say that's actually not the right thing. And man, if you couple their technical skill with a skill and ability to push back or disagree in a very polite, hold safe way, man, beautiful. that is beautiful. Lights out good. I'm telling you, if you can teach them to do that, it's really, really solid.
That really goes for everybody.
It does, truth,
including sales types. But yeah, I love that, because that's just because think about in the course of a discussion. So you and I, you have a discussion with a potential customer. Forget about the technical, but you have a discussion, and that customer says something that is just totally flat wrong according to you. It might just be a throwaway line. Well, you really can't train salespeople. I mean, come on, they either come to you seasoned vets or not. Yeah. And I don't believe that. I don't know if you believe that or not. I don't believe that. And so what do you do with that? Do you just let them get away with it? Or do you politely, gently say, is it okay if I push back on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Usually but you can't just push back. You have to get permission to push back, which is part of what you're saying is how do you create those skills in the accidental salesperson to be able to do that effortlessly, gently, kindly, but still do it.
Yeah, that's a lights out coaching program for technical people for sure.
Yeah.
I also think now it's going to vary customer to customer. Everyone in the org needs to understand value and pricing together too. So I think it's also important if you're building a program to coach and train accidental salespeople that some of the program includes their ability to interact with a customer with regard to money, pricing, terms, contracts, and things like that. Because what you will find is a buyer will, be technical. It's like, well, pricing, and then everyone freezes like, whoa, that's not my area. Like the technical people get all squirrely. And that's not very strong. It doesn't give good prospect experience like we talked about last episode. So, and I'm not saying you have to be the one to negotiate the deal. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying you do need to address that. Don't just say that's not my job and then move on. That's a bad thing to do. So
That's good. So, I've got one final one here. And this is kind of a 30,000 foot view look. And that is, aren't we all accidental salespeople? Aren't we really, when you think about, there's not too many 7-year-olds who wake up one day and they tell their dad says, what do you want to be? And the 7-year-old says, I want to be in sales. I want to be in frontline sales, SDR, BDR. I don't care, but I want to be in sales. I want to go talk to people who don't want to talk to me.
Call strangers.
Call strangers up and try to get them to pay me money. I dearly, no, none of us do.
Nobody.
But we realize through college and through education that we have to be somewhat savvy at talking to people and understanding their needs and persuasion products and things like that. And so I think we all start out as accidental, and then we start to learn things. Some of those things we learn are very useful. Some aren't.
Yeah.
Some are habits that we've dropped into that we continue to use, and they don't work. And it's like the frog in boiling water. It hasn't worked for years, but we still use it because that's what my dad taught me. That's what my first boss, he always said, be more enthusiastic than the prospect. And we learn all those strongholds, these old beliefs, and it all comes from a good place, but it comes from a bad outcome. So we are all accidentals. All right.
Finer than a frog's hair split 3 ways.
Oh, that's fine.
The guy who said that to me, way over optimistic guy. He's a nice guy, but that's fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking of my own career. One of the reasons I got into sales was because I couldn't get into anything else. It's like a lot of people choose sales because they couldn't pass the CPA exam. Their LSAT scores were bad. That didn't work out. This didn't work out. I want to make a little, more money than some of the other jobs. And so I'll try sales. And so a lot of people, I thought I'd try sales. They say that, right?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
And that's a whole nother.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
But if you have accidentals in your sphere of influence inside your company, or you are one, maybe you've listening to this because somebody sent this to you. You are extremely valuable. You're a huge asset for the company because of your technical intelligence. And now it's time to brush up on your people stuff and the whole buyer-seller dance, which we've done here, and we'll continue to do it. We'd love to have you continue to be a listener if this is your first episode, because
that's a good one. We like accidentals. We love you.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye.